Headline says India EU FTA chance to reduce reliance on China, Russia, US. Ahead of Jan 27 signing of security partnership, Kaja Kallas says EU is a reliable partner, Russia is not. I know the brightness got diminished. Actually, we had two lights. One was one was on both electricity and generator, and another one was on just electricity. So that has gone. The reason why the one which was just on electricity has got off. Okay, so the journalist of the article is Shubhajit Roy, New Delhi, Jan 23. Ahead of the state visit of the European Union leaders from Jan 25 to 27, High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy and Vice President of the European Commission, Kaja Kallas, said Friday that the India EU Free Trade Agreement is a strategic choice and provides a chance to reduce reliance on China, Russia, and US. In an exclusive interview to the Indian Express, Kallas, former PM of Estonia, who also holds the rank equivalent to foreign minister, said that the EU and India will sign a new security and defense partnership on Jan 27 at the India EU Leaders Summit. She will attend the summit. European Commission's President Ursula von der Leyen is expected to arrive in India Saturday, and European Council's President Antonio Luis Santos da Costa reaches Sunday. Now, there is much more about this article given on the second page. Uh, if you are new to the channel, I mention this disclaimer in my every video. I read the articles which I like to read because I'm cultivating a habit of reading. Firstly, I read the entire full front page, and all the articles mentioned on the front page are just 25% of them. The rest 75% is given on the second page, which I do not read. I do not like it. I know half of the information is dangerous when you are using or implementing it somewhere, but neither I'm using nor I'm implementing it anywhere. The reason why I'm not bothered of just reading half of the information, because it's just to read and not to use somewhere. Okay, so moving ahead, the next title is EU leaders are day visit aims to conclude talks. Signing letter, EU official. This small article is also probably related to the headline which I gave before. And as you can see, the brightness is again back. That means the electricity has came back, and the light which was just on electricity is on again. Okay. So the writer of that journalist of this small article of the headline is Ravi Datta Mishra, New Delhi, Jan 23. I have heard. Okay, the first one was of Shubhajit Roy, and this one is of Ravi Datta Mishra. I've If you're not new to the channel, you may even have noticed that most of the times the front page articles have these two names. New Delhi, Jan 23. Amid trade negotiations between India and the European Union, with four chapters yet to be closed, an EU official said Friday that the EU leaders' visit to India next week is aimed at concluding the negotiations. The formal signing of the trade deal could follow after internal procedures are completed. President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, and President of the European Council, Antonio Luis Santos da Costa, will be the chief guests at the Republic Day celebrations next week and will also co-chair the 16th India-EU summit the next day. Signaling the urgency of narrowing differences, the EU official said, "It's our objective to complete the negotiations." That's the first step, and there is much more on the second page. Why am I not reading that? I have answered it before. Okay, now the next title is Adani stocks fall as US SEC plans email summons to Gautam Adani. Shares of listed Adani firms shed between 3.3% and 14.6%. This article has been given by Sukalp Sharma, New Delhi, Jan 23. With the US Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) seeking a New York court's permission to directly serve summons via email to Adani Group chairman Gautam Adani and his nephew and senior group executive Sagar Adani over allegations of bribery and fraud. Shares of listed Adani Group companies slumped on Friday, shedding between 3.3% and 14.6%. According to the SEC, the Indian government previously refused two requests to serve the summons, Reuters reported, citing court filings. Adani Group's flagship company, Adani Enterprises, shares fell 10.8% on the BSE on Friday, while those of Adani Green Energy, Adani Energy Solutions, and Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone fell 14.6%, 12%, and 7.5% respectively. The BSE's 30% the BSE's 30 share index Sensex fell almost 1% off 769 points to close at 81,537 points, and the rupee settled at a record closing low of 91.94 on Friday. Adani Group has a total of 10 publicly listed companies, which cumulatively lost over rupees 1 lakh crore in market capitalization on Friday, following the SEC's latest move. Now here's an explained section, a small explained article. In this article, why the summons? In November 2024, US prosecutors indicted Gautam Adani and seven others for orchestrating a scheme to pay over $265 million in bribes to Indian government officials for securing power supply contracts in India. Simultaneously, the SEC moved court demanding a jury trial and other penalties against Gautam Adani, Sagar Adani, and Azure Power's Cyril Sebastien Dominique Gibbons, a French national, on the same charges. Now, the next title is Unlikely Allies Next to Him. PM begins Tamil Nadu campaign with sharp attack on DMK. Given by Arun Janardhanan, Chennai, Jan 23. Prime Minister Narendra Modi opened the National Democratic Alliance Assembly election campaign in Tamil Nadu on Friday with a blistering attack on the ruling DMK, accusing it of corruption, family rule, poor law and order, and insulting the judiciary as he sought to frame the coming contest as a referendum on governance. Standing before a sea of nearly 45,000 chairs and a crowd that organizers said swelled past 1 lakh, Modi cast the movement as both symbolic and urgent. This is my first trip to 2026, a period after Pongal when people have a special happiness. He began invoking the festive mood and the birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Let me offer my prayers to the memories of Netaji from his land of fighters. Then, gesturing toward the ground, he said, Friends, this is a floodgate of people I can see on this ground. It also sends a strong message to everyone that Tamil Nadu is ready for a change. In his speech, Modi repeatedly returned to the same theme, that the DMK government had exhausted its mandate and that the NDA represented stability and growth. You gave you have you gave given DMK an opportunity to rule, but they have caused enough trouble already, he said. Now the next title is Ahmedabad crash. Reinsurers pay $125 million to AI for hull engine loss. Given by George Matthew, Mumbai, Jan 23. Global reinsurers and Indian general insurance companies have paid around $125 million, around rupees 1,125 crore to Air India as the insurance claim for the loss of hull and engines in the June 12 Dreamliner crash in Ahmedabad. They have also completed the process of releasing $25 million, that is rupees 225 crore, as compensation for the relatives of passengers who died in the crash. The compensation process is incomplete and the amount is likely to rise significantly when the processing is fully done, insurance sources said. Earlier, Indian reinsurer GIC Rehad said Air India's Ahmedabad crash claim is likely to hit a total of $475 million, that is rupees 4,275 crore, including $350 million of liability claims involving the compensation amount for 260 people who lost their lives in the mishap. Now, the next title is Don't Draw Salary. Bombay High Court warns Navi Mumbai Civic Chief for disregarding pollution directives. Given by Omkar Gokhale, Mumbai, Jan 23. Expressing displeasure at the Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation's belligerent at the Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation's belligerent disregard of its directives on air pollution mitigation measures. The Bombay High Court on Wednesday warned its commissioner that it may pass directions preventing him from drawing his salary without the court's permission. There is a belligerent disregard and violation of this court's order by the Municipal Commissioner, Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation, against whom we propose to pass an order directing him not to draw his salaries till this order permits him to do so. A bench of Chief Justice Shri Chandrasekhar and Justice Suman Shyam noted. The High Court also said that there had been no sincere efforts made by the Brihanmumbai Municipal Corporation, and if the same continued, it may be required to pass similar coercive orders against its top officials too. The High Court orally remarked to the BMC, only after the court's order you have started taking the steps. Okay. Now the next title is Saraswati Puja Friday Namaz converge converge at Bhoshla under heavy security shadow. Given by Anand Mohan J. Dhar, Jan 23. Basant Panchami at the disputed Bhoshla complex in Madhya Pradesh, Dhar was discontinued to become a study in. Sorry. I'll repeat this. It wasn't discontinued, it was destined. I apologize. I shall repeat this. Basant Panchami at the disputed Bhoshla complex in Madhya Pradesh, Dhar was destined to become a study in confluence from the moment the calendar revealed that the spring festival and Friday prayers would overlap after a decade. Muslims who were permitted to offer Friday prayers at the Bhosla complex had a dozen plus persons brought in through a back gate and then moved to a designated spot at the complex where the dome was covered with a white cloth. Around them, officers carrying automatic weapons maintained tight perimeters while armored vehicles idled nearby, engines running. Hindu devotees, thousands were part of processions that had been building since dawn, arrived the front gates. The Supreme Court had on Thursday issued directions to allow simultaneous Basant Panchami puja and namaz at the Archaeological Survey of India protested Bhosla Temple, Kamal Mola Mosque, Bhosla Temple, Kamal Mola Mosque complex in Madhya Pradesh, Dhar district on Friday. The court allowed prayers on a plea by an organization, the Hindu Front of Justice, on the occasion of Basant Panchami. The day heralds the arrival of spring and involves worship Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge. This marks the latest chapter in the dispute over the 11th century monument. Since the early 2000s, various right wing groups have been seeking the closure of the mosque, a ban on Friday namaz there, and the installation of a Saraswati idol in the complex. On Friday, the Dhar administration was prepared to ensure harmony was maintained. Every corner of the city, from narrow bylanes to crowded markets and rooftops, was mapped in 3D. From a central control room, police monitored live feeds across the city, while over 20 AI-enabled drones flew regular circuits, relying, relaying real-time data on crowd density. Over 8,000 police officers from the surrounding regions were called in along with 8 Rapid Action Force platoons and 933 women police personnel, erecting an unprecedented security cordon. By mid-morning, the narrow approach roads to the Bhojshala were buzzing. Triangular flags fluttered from bamboo poles strung across lanes and rooftops. Young men in white kurtas raised slogans, while women in mustard, vermilion, and deep orange saris moved in clusters, clapping and raising their hands in rhythm. Riot police walked alongside the procession in helmets and body armor. Shuttered shops and tangled overhead wires framed a town briefly transformed into a corridor of devotion and discipline. Chalo Bhosla, Chalo Bhosla blared from DJ mounted vehicles as processions organized by various outfits advanced. Shantilal, waiting with his 10-year-old son, spoke quietly about rites rather than rituals. The Supreme Court has allowed both communities to enter today, he said. Basant Panchami has happened peacefully before too. We don't pay much attention to Hindu Muslim issues. All we want is the right to pray the whole day in our Saraswati Mandir. Others close not to wait. Shivani, visiting Bhosla for the first time, turned back with her children. There is too much of a crowd, she said. I came because of the mahol around Friday namaz. Basant Panchami is bigger than ever this time, but I can risk bringing my children into such a but I can't risk bringing my children into such a huge gathering. Among the crowd, young participants spoke of a changed movement. Rajesh, Gopal, and Karthik, polytechnic students, said Bhosla now felt like a national issue rather than a local one. Earlier, people only thought about it when Basant Panchami fell on a Friday, as one of them said. Now, politicians and media keep reminding us this is a temple. Now, there's a happening today section on the front page. The first is Union Home Minister Amit Shah will attend Uttar Pradesh Day celebrations in Lucknow as the chief guest. At the program to be held at the Rashtra Prerna Sthal, Shah will launch the One District, One Cuisine scheme. I repeat, at the program to be held at the Rashtra Prerna Sthal, Shah will launch the One District, One Cuisine scheme. One District, One Cuisine. Now the next happening today paragraph is Hind Di Chaddar, a 2-day event to mark the 350th martyrdom anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur begins in Nanded, Maharashtra. Indian Railways has organized special trains to Nanded from major cities. Now the next title comes from the State of Maharashtra section of the Indian Express. It's about Elgar Parishad case. The title is High Court Grants Relief to Two Accused, Only One Bail. Yet to get bail. NIA claimed Gorkhe Gaichor were part of event held in Pune on December 31st, 2017. Article has been given by Omkar Gokhale, Mumbai, Jan 23. The Bombay High Court Friday granted bail to accused Sagar Gorkhe and Ramesh Gaichor, members of the cultural group Kabir Kala Manch, in the Elgar Parishad case. With this, only one accused arrested in the case, Surendra Gerling, remains to get bail. A division bench of Justices J. S. Gadkari and Sham C. Chandak allowed the appeals filed by Gorkhe and Gaishore against the Feb 2022 order of the Special NIA Court in Mumbai, which had rejected their bail pleas in the case. The Pune police had made 9 arrests in the case in 2018, and another 7 persons were arrested by the National Investigation Agency after it took over the investigation in Jan 2020. Those arrested include prominent lawyers, activists, and academics who were accused of being members of the Pan Communist Party of India and furthering the cause of the Maoists. On Friday, the court directed Gorkhe and Gaichor to be released on furnishing a personal bond of rupees 1 lakh each, along with sureties of the same amount. The court also asked them to attend the NIA office in Mumbai on the first Monday of every month and attend all dates before the trial court unless precluded, precluded on medical grounds. It directed that the two cannot leave the territorial jurisdiction of the Bombay High Court without prior permission of the Special Court. The NIA had claimed before the High Court that Gorkhe and Gaichor, currently lodged at Taloja Central Prison in Navi Mumbai, were part of the Elgar Parishad event held in Pune on December 31st, 2017. As per the central agency, the two had performed a skit which spoke about the rule of the Peshwas and democracy. In its charge sheet, the agency claimed that Milind Teltumde, a wanted accused in the case, had discussed about the event with the two men as well as co-accused. Jyoti Jagtap and Maoist ideology was being spread at the event with the help of the accused. However, the two claimed there was no evidence produced by the central agency to establish that they had committed any offence under Unlawful Activities Prevention Act UAPA or sedition for which they were booked. The trial in the case is yet to begin before the special court. Gorkhe was recently granted interim bail for attending a law examination and was directed to surrender after it ended. Now, the next title is Why Kabir Kala Manch Artists Artistes Gorkhe and Gaichor were arrested by NIA for Maoist links. This article has been given by Chandan Hegunde, Pune, Jan 23. More than 5 years after being arrested in the Elgar Parishad case for alleged Maoist links, Ramesh Gaichor, 41 years old, and Sagar Gorkhe, 37 years old, both members of the Pune based cultural group Kabir Kala Manch, were given bail by the Bombay High Court on Friday. The KKM is among the outfits that organized the Elgar Parishad conclave at the Shaniwar Wada in Pune city on December 31st, 2017 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the Battle of Koregaon Bhima. The following day, widespread violence was reported in Koregaon Bhima area in Pune district, in which one person died while several others were left injured. An offence was lodged against some Elgar Parishad organizers at Vishrambagh, Vishrambagh police station in Pune in Jan 2018. Initially being investigated by the Pune City Police, the case was transferred to the National Investigation Agency in Jan 2020. Investigators alleged that Elgar Parishad received funds from the banned CPI Maoist and that speeches delivered at the conclave, along with previous campaigns for the event, were among the factors that allegedly led to the violence in Koregaon Bhima. A total of 16 persons were arrested in the case under IPC and UAPA sections following the arrest of KKM artists Gorkhe Gaichor and Jyoti Jagtap from Pune in September 2020. The NIA had issued a press release stating the three accused were propagating Naxal activities and Maoist ideology and were co-conspirators with other arrested accused. It has also come on record that the arrested accused persons were in contact with absconding accused Milind Teltumde, CPI Maoist Central Committee member gunned down by Gadchiroli police in November 2021. About urban network of CPI Maoist. Also, it's established that during their visits in the jungle, they underwent weapon and explosive training and awareness programs on various topics related to Maoist movement, the press release stated. After supplementary charge sheet was filed against them, an NIA press release stated that Gorkhe Gaichur and Jagtap attended meetings for the organization of Elgar Parishad with other co-accused as a part of well chalked out conspiracy. They propagated the agenda of CPI Maoist and planned and coordinated all across the state. KKM had condemned the arrests, calling it a false case and an attempt to protect Hindutva leaders Sambhaji Bhide and Milind Ekbote, who they claim to be the culprits behind Koregaon Bhima violence. Bhide and Ekbote were booked in another case related to Koregaon Bhima violence with the Pune Rural Police. Jyoti was granted bail by the Supreme Court in November 2025. Investigators say KKM was formed after the Gujarat riots in 2002 to promote unity through cultural and musical programs, but the group was later hijacked by Maoist operatives. The KKM was named in the list of active front organizations of the CPI Maoist, submitted in the Lok Sabha in February 2014 by the UPA Government Minister of State for Home Affairs RPN Singh. The previous case, there's a section here called the previous case. Police said Gorkhe and Raichur were arrested in the past too in a UAPA case lodged by the Maharashtra ATS in 2011 against 14 persons, including Milind Teltumde and his wife Angelo Sontakke, for allegedly spreading CPI Maoist activities in the urban areas of Maharashtra and Gujarat. As per the ATS probe, Raichur and Gorkhe were among those who allegedly attended 15 days Naxal training camp organized in Pune by Teltumde in 2010. ATS had arrested accused Sheetal Sathe, Sachin Mari, Gorkhe, and Raichur after they surrendered Mumbai by staging satyagraha and singing revolutionary songs in 2013. The ATS charge sheet alleged that the accused KKM artists participated in arms training with about 150 Naxals in jungle areas of Gondia, Gadchiroli while they were on the run. All accused denied the allegations and were later released on bail. While the 2011 case is still pending in a Mumbai court, in May last year, the ATS arrested a KKM member and a wanted accused, Prashant Kamble, alias Laptop, who had been missing since 2010. Investigators recovered from an Aadhaar card, PAN card, voting card, and a passport in a fake name, Sunil Jagtap, which Kamble allegedly procured while working with tribal children in Raigad. Another KKM member, Santosh Shelar, alias Painter, who too had allegedly joined the armed Maoist movement with Kamble, was arrested in January 2024. I, th- I thought I would read this incompletely, but I read this completely. Good. Sometimes, even while doing things, we get a power to complete them. I truly felt that this was a very long article, and I truly felt that I shall read this. I would read this incompletely, but I didn't imagine or believe that I would read this completely. That's why starting is difficult, finishing isn't. Now, the next title is HSC practical exams begin. Board warns of derecognition if any malpractices are found. Given by Express News Service, Mumbai, Jan 23. Practical examinations for the higher secondary certificate. Sorry. Actually, the center part of the newspaper is used to fold it in two parts. The reason why it's quite difficult to read those words. So, practical examinations for the higher secondary certificate began across Maharashtra on Thursday, with the Maharashtra State Board of Secondary and Higher Secondary Education stating the strict anti copying measures have been put in place and has warned that any exam center where copying is detected will lose its recognition as an examination center from the next academic year. The warning comes close on the heels of the board's decision to withdraw recognition of 107 examination centers after copy cases were detected during last year's board examinations. Chairman of the Maharashtra State Board, Trigun Kulkarni, said the copy free exam campaign is to continue even this year with the same rigor. All exam centers have been apprised about the same. More than 80% of exam centers are equipped with CCTV surveillance in order to ensure strict vigil against miscreants. The CCTV cover is likely to increase up to more exam centers. To strengthen monitoring, the State Board has also constituted a state level vigilance committee this year to improve coordination with district level vigilance committees, which are responsible for enforcing anti copying measures before and during the examinations. Flying squads will also conduct surprise visits to exam centers to ensure compliance. According to the board, practical and oral assessments, along with other internal evaluations for HSC students, will be held from Jan 23 to Feb 9. Practical and oral examinations for the secondary school certificate will be conducted between February 2 and 18. The written examinations for HSC are scheduled from Feb 10 to March 18, while SSC written examinations will be held from Feb 20 to March 18. However, teachers have raised concerns over the state board's failure to announce helpline numbers to assist students in managing exam related stress, especially as examinations are beginning earlier than usual this year. These are numbers of qualified counselors who can help students manage academic or other stress around exams. Generally, the list of such numbers is declared in February as written exams begin toward the end of February. However, this time around exams are starting a few days early, said a senior teacher from Mumbai school, urging the board to activate the helpline at the earliest. It's a good initiative. Definitely. Examinations. I mean, in 2018, I completed my 10th, and in 20, yeah, in 20, I completed my plus 2, my 12th. So it's been long. I guess 6 years ago, I finished my plus 2, my HSC. So it's truly not easy to go through all of that, I know. So it's great that this initiative has been taken to provide helplines, at least to speak, at least to get someone who would just listen. Many times people don't get that when they just have to listen and when they have to give solutions. Many students in such situations, in such time, in time of examinations of board, they need someone to listen the issue, the mentality, the situation, more than getting solutions, because family and relatives are there to give solutions. They don't even listen the problem completely, they start giving solutions before listening it completely. But Students need someone to listen them first, clearly, completely, without interrupting them. Now the next title is from the Nation section. I can see a new energy. Change will happen in Kerala, says Modi. Given by Shaju Philip, Tirunanthapuram, Jan 23. Setting the BJP led NDA's election campaign in motion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Friday that Kerala will change in the coming elections. Addressing party workers in the state capital after a brief roadshow, Modi hard sold the BJP's theme, Maratha Thu, Any Marum. I'll repeat, Maratha Thu, Any Marum. What has not changed will change. Whenever I have visited Kerala, you have given me your love. But this time, I can see a new energy in you. This verse makes me believe that change will happen in Kerala, he said. Modi said the election would change the future of Kerala. So far, one the state had seen only two only two fronts, the LDF and the UDF, which had destroyed Kerala. He said, a third front, the NDA, has now risen. People of Kerala have started reposing their faith in the BJP, he said, referring to the party's historic win in the Tirunanthapuram corporation. Modi drew a parallel between the BJP's recent victory in the Tirunanthapuram corporation and the party's win in the Ahmedabad civic body in 1987. Until 1987, BJP was not a significant force in Gujarat. For the first time in 1987, the party won the municipal corporation. People recognized our performance. Since then, the people of Gujarat have entrusted us with opportunities to serve the entire state, and that still continues. BJP began its journey in Gujarat in one city. Similarly, our journey in Kerala has started with a city, he said. Modi's visit to Thiruvananthapuram marked the 27th day since the BJP assumed power in the corporation, which had been ruled by the left for the last 45 days. During the campaign for the civic body elections, the BJP had promised to bring Modi and unveil the city's development plan within 45 days if voted to power in the corporation. Although he did not unveil the development plan as earlier claimed, Modi hailed the victory as historic, saying its impact was being felt across the state. I extend my full support to Thiruvananthapuram to make it one of the best cities in India. BJP has started to realize Viksita Thiruvananthapuram, he said. The next title is Nightclub Fire. ED searches in Delhi, Goa over allegations of money laundering. The article has been given by Pavneet Singh Chadda, Panji, Jan 23. The Enforcement Directorate, Goa, is conducting searches at least 8 locations in Goa and Delhi in connection with the fire at Birch by Romeo Lane nightclub in Goa's Arpura village, where 25 people were killed on December 6 last month. Sources said the search operations are underway since early Friday morning at the residential and office premises of the Gaurav Luthra and Ajay Gupta, the owners and partners of Birch by Romeo Lane, Goa, to probe money laundering allegations linked to the alleged illegal functioning of the club and the role of its promoters. An official said the searches are being conducted at 8 to 9 locations across Delhi and Goa, including at premises in Kingsway Camp in Delhi, Tatvam Vilas in Gurgaon, and the premises of then Sarpanch of village Panchayat Arpura Nagaon Roshan Redkar and then Panchayat Secretary Raghuveer Bakkar in Goa, who alleged to have facilitated, facilitated and issued trade licenses and no objection certificates to the club to operate. Sources said ED teams are also conducting searches at the premises of Surinder Kumar Khosla, to examine the money laundering angle arising from the illegal conversion of Khazan land on which the club was reportedly operated. Now, the next title is about the Pune Posh crash. Supreme Court seeks state government's reply on bail plea of accused. Given by Press Trust of India, New Delhi, Jan 23. The Supreme Court has sought a response from the Maharashtra government on pleas filed by an accused seeking bail in the Pune Porsche car accident case that claimed two lives in May 2024. A bench of Justices B.V. Nagaratna and Ujjal Bhuyan issued notice to the state government and tagged the plea filed by accused Amar Santish Gaikwad against the Bombay High Court's December 16 order with other similar matters related to the case. Gaikwad, represented by advocate Sana Rais Khan, submitted that the High Court erred in its finding and denied him bail. Khan submitted before the bench on Thursday that the sole allegation against the petitioner was that he acted as a middleman for the monetary transaction, which was made from tampering with the medical evidence or swapping of the blood sample of the juvenile at Sassoon Hospital by receiving the cash amount from the driver and handing it over to the doctor's assistant and handing it over to the doctor's assistant. The plea further said that throughout the course of investigation, the prosecution leveled allegations regarding the tampering of evidence at the instance of the mother of the juvenile who was driving the car but has been granted bail. Now, the next title is Kin of Meti Man killed in Manipur refused to accept body, seek arrests. Given by Jimmy Levon, Imphal, Jan 23. The family of Mayangalambam Rishikanta, the Meti man who was gunned down by alleged armed Kuki militants in Churachandpur on Wednesday, have refused to accept his body unless the demands, including the arrest of the perpetrators, are met. Later on Thursday, the body of Rishikanta was handed over to Kakching police. It's currently kept at the mortuary of Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Medical Sciences, Imphal. Rishikanta, 38 years old, was abducted from the house of his fiancée, where he had been living for the last 1 month. Kumukcham Pradeep, convener of the Joint Action Committee, formed on Thursday against Rishikanta's killing, said the deceased family has decided not to claim his body until the state government gives a concrete assurance to fulfill all their demands. The demands including handing over the case to NIA, apprehending the perpetrators, and to compensate the family. The JAC has served a 72-hour ultimatum to the government for fulfilling the demands, failing which they warn of launching agitation with the support of civil bodies. Although two of the demands, which include handing over the body of Rishikanta and transferring the case to NIA, have been fulfilled, we need a concrete assurance from the state that all our demands would be met and swift action would be ensured, said the JAC convener. On Friday evening, the government, in a press statement, announced a compensation of Rs 10 lakh for the family of the deceased. Sanai Rishikanta's cousin said, "We will sit with the JAC from time to time to review the development and accordingly plan our next move." Meanwhile, search continued for the second day to hunt down the militants involved in Rishikanta's killing. Police said a combined force comprising state and central troops launched an intense operation at Najjang area soon after the incident came to light. Police said on Friday that further operations are underway at Quarentak area in Churachandpur. Rishikanta was abducted from the house of his fiancée, Chignu Haukip, in Tuibong headquarters area by armed Kuki militants. His body was later recovered from Najjang area. His body was later recovered from Najjang area. The deceased, originally from Kakching Kunau in the Meti Majority Valley, had been living with his fiancée, who is from the Kuki Zoo community, for the past month. The final title of the day is miffed over Rahul snub, Tharoor ups ante, and skips key AICC meet on Kerala polls. A disclaimer again, if I'm mispronouncing any word, I'm not a native English speaker or familiar very well with English. I'm trying to improve, so if I'm making mistakes, do mention in the comments. And also the feedback, no matter how cru- uh, no matter how critical it may be, but still do mention it in the comments. Again, the title of the article is Miffed over Rahul snub, Tharoor ups, and skips key AICC meet on Kerala polls, given by Manoj CG, New Delhi, Jan 23. Earlier this month, the photographs of Shashi Tharoor exchanging notes and engaging in deep conversations with his Congress colleagues of Kerala on the sidelines of the party's today brainstorming session in Wayanad had sent a signal that the differences between the four-time Thiruvananthapuram MP and the party leadership might have been finally resolved. But it seems some misgivings between them still remain, and that too at a time when the Congress is gearing up for the high stakes Kerala Assembly elections slated for April. As the All India Congress Committee held a crucial meeting with top party leaders from Kerala in Delhi on Friday afternoon to firm up strategies for the Assembly polls, Tharoor was conspicuous by his absence. While the state Congress leaders downplayed his absence, it has once again set tongues wagging. Tharoor, it's learnt, is miffed and is once again feeling unwanted in a party which he once aspired to helm. Of the states headed for the assembly polls over the next few months, Kerala is the only one where the embattled party has a realistic chance of clinching a win. While the Congress is a minor player in Tamil Nadu, it's in many ways a fringe force in West Bengal. The electoral battle in Assam, Congress leaders admit, is going to be an uphill task for the party. Tharoor and the Congress top brass, both at the national level and in Kerala, have not been on the same page on many issues, often setting off speculations about his future in the grand old party while creating a perception that he may be emerging as a rebel extraordinary. Tharoor, who began his political journey in 2009, has never shied away from expressing his opinion on a range of state and national issues, much to the discomfort of a section of the Congress leadership. Now, the question doing the rounds in party circles is what changed between the Vayanath brainstorming session and Friday's AICC meeting. It's learned that Tharoor felt deeply insulted at the party's grand Mahapanchayat in Kochi, which was inaugurated by leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha Rahul Gandhi earlier this week. Gandhi took the names of several leaders who were on the dais while beginning his speech, but did not mention Tharoor. Congress leaders said Gandhi also did not greet Tharoor. They said he was even asked by the state party leadership to conclude his speech before Gandhi arrived on the stage. Tharoor, a member of the Congress Working Committee, compiled and wound up his speech minutes after Gandhi came onto the dais. But sources said at least six party leaders, including some non CWC members, spoke after him in the presence of Gandhi, which surprised him. Gandhi took the names of as many as 12 leaders but did not mention him. Sources in the AICC said Tharoor had informed the AICC's Kerala in charge, Deepa Dasmunshi, and General Secretary Organization KC Venugopal that he would not be able to attend the Friday meeting as he has to be at the Kerala Literature Festival in Kozhikode where he has two events to attend on Saturday. Sources said Venugopal and Dasmunshi were aware of Tharoor's unhappiness. Tharoor, sources said, was of the view that he could not compromise on his self respect and that the party cannot take him for granted. Tharoor could not be reached for a comment. The Friday meeting, chaired by AICC President Mallikarjun Kharge and attended by Gandhi, was significant from an election point of view. Sources said the High Command asked the state leadership to conclude seat sharing talks with allies amicably and candidate selection smoothly. While the Congress traditionally refrains from projecting a leader for the chief minister's post head of the polls, it has to set up key election related panels, including the campaign and manifesto committees, to ensure coordination and unity of purpose for the polls. It was also decided that a meeting of the party's state election committee will be held in Thiruvananthapuram next week, where all these key issues will be discussed and decisions taken. Sometimes I got slow, sometimes I got fast, sometimes I spoke well, sometimes, many times, I didn't speak well. Okay, here we finish today's session, and thank you for being till here. Whatever your very less appreciation or much or many criticism is in your mind, please do mention in the comments. I shall see you tomorrow. Bye bye. And sorry for looking at the screen and not at the camera. Okay, again, whatever the appreciation and criticism, one many criticism about me I have said by myself. So whatever you extra have in your mind, please do mention in the comments. And thank you for being here till now. Apologies for looking at the screen, not at you. And we shall end the session here of today's, and I shall see you tomorrow. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.